Hey guys, welcome to the final part of Missing Link, as we now made it to the Hollow Root Keep, our one and only dungeon in this ROM hack.
And let me guess, it's like a straightforward dungeon too.
Yeah, in some ways yes, but also no. This place actually has some depth going on to it, and you already kind of see it with these red and blue platforms. That's different. Wonder what those are about.
Wow, cheap shot, Deku Baba.
Oh, what's been going on in this place? Evil experiments? Demons transforming humans into spiders? This guy's a mad scientist, not a demon.
Where did you keep that key, sir?
You don't want to know.
Hopefully on his legs.
He just harks it out of his mouth.
Also, I like the design on the door with the hand holding up the fairy.
Yeah, it's a very symbolic meaning of the door.
You want your fairy back, Link?
You better come and stop me. Had to do a cool backflip in the water after I activated that switch.
Ah, so I see what these platforms are for. The switch activates the different platforms depending on its color. Interesting. Well, we can't really hit the switch from up here all that easily, so let me just pull out a bomb. And now we'll activate the switch. So now we got the blue platform up and the red platform down, which means we can go right back to that room we were just in. And now we have a bridge.
Is this not the intended?
Not supposed to be able to do this yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You're supposed to wait until you get the item of the dungeon.
I was like, is this the intended way how to do things?
Nope.
They're like, no, he's not.
It actually causes a problem because we have to hit the switch again to leave this area, because now we're blocked in.
All of the fairies in Hyrule?
All of them?
That's a lot of fairies.
Is it Mr. Crocker?
Yeah, of all the people, he invades the land of Hyrule because fairy godparents. That's it. That's his whole reason to be here. It doesn't even exist here.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You know, I haven't seen that show in ages. I really haven't.
I was one of the unfortunate saps that watched the live action show. It was so bad, it was pulled off Paramount Plus and canceled immediately. I regret watching that show because it was horrible.
Just send to the original.
I was too far in before I decided to stop. At that point, you might as well.
It's like watching a train wreck, huh?
It really was. The entire thing was a train wreck.
What just happened?
So we're activating switches up here. There are 2 crystal eyes to hit. That's why it's kind of hard to see it with these camera angles. One opens up the door here in front of us, and the other one opens up a gate, which is near the other door that we entered the room in. I'm definitely doing things a little more out of order, which is why some of it may look a little fast-paced, because at this point I've already played through the dungeon a couple times and have its gimmick under my belt. The thing is with this dungeon, it does have a decent amount of backtracking once you get the item here, but if you know what you're doing, you can bypass a lot of that backtracking early, which is what I'm trying to do.
Found a small key.
So here's what the other switch opened up. Path to this locked door. And this room entirely is just for another switch, so you can flip the platforms.
Wow.
It's the only way you can actually flip these platforms for going into the later section here, so we did need to come this path. Also $20, worth it.
But what are you gonna use the money for at this point?
Exactly. Honestly, at this point, you really just need the money if you had to go back for more supplies. But at this stage, you're probably fine.
Look, he could take it with him in a Majora's Mask.
so nice to be able to instantly kill Skulltulus with just swinging a sword.
Yeah.
So nice.
This is like a combination of like Woodfall's music and like Forest Temple.
Yeah, in some ways I can see it. I thought it was a very more like subdued version of Woodfall Temple. It definitely kind of feels like it could be a mix. Thanks, Link. You're supposed to grab the ledge, not fall off it.
Well, I'm sorry, you didn't tell me.
And all this was for what? Bombs I already have enough of? Who put the 20 bomb chew cap in this? Come on, there were 50. Nice.
What was that? What was that?
I love glitchy wall grabs.
I think our fairy boys had enough adventure for one day.
Just a little bit more. You can do it, I hope. So here is the item of this dungeon. This is our last major collectible too of this. This is something you won't expect. It's a brand new item made specifically for this ROM hack, the Magic Hourglass. Pressing the C button with this equipped makes you travel back in time for a few seconds. Brand new mechanic made for this game. So here, we're trapped in this room. I can't get out. But with the magic of time travel, we're back up on the top of the ledge.
Nifty.
No amount of time travel can fix the stupidity, though. So this is how you would interact with a lot of the moving platforms around you. They can go back and forth between the red and blue platforms pretty easily. You would use the Magic Hourglass to flip a switch and then go right back behind the wall that you flipped the switch in front of. Also, that was a mini-boss. Just kind of there.
That didn't really feel like one.
Yeah, Stalfos are way harder to fight if you don't know how to power crouch.
Go home!
Don't you want to go to your home? Answer me!
I mean, we can't. You killed it. Oh, that's right. We did kill the other tree they lived inside of. These spiders have nowhere else to go.
What's inside this chest?
Well, we definitely know it's not an item or a heart. It's gotta be.
The dungeon map, I kinda figured.
Ah, yeah! The dungeon map, which is something we haven't even talked about 4 parts in. All the maps in this are custom made, so actual map data.
Oh, that's cool.
That is actually a rarity at this time for Ocarina ROM hack, so this is impressive. See a chest. Does it have Big Boss Key?
Maybe.
Only problem is I don't know how do I get through this block. I wonder if there's some kind of time traveling item in our inventory that makes us phase through solid objects. Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's cheating.
It really does feel cheating when you do that specific interaction. It's weird. The hourglass does take a little bit of time to get used to, just because it's such a weird and foreign concept, but it's so powerful. To think, this was before Breath of the Wild style stasis. At least in terms of Zelda timeline. We don't even talk about real situations. It's like 2 years after Breath of the Wild came out. Ah, but let's fast forward to 2023's time manipulation power. This thing is a precursor to the Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And that's pretty powerful too in Tears of the Kingdom, the time stopping ability.
Right, Matthew?
Yeah. It is. being able to stop the rewind things is awesome. Break a lot of things in that game doing that.
It really can, yeah. Speaking of breaking, let's break logic for an elevator. Just clip right through it. Conveniently down here is another chest too. Man, I wonder if this is compass.
It is. Oh my goodness.
Cool. Unfortunately, it's a little late because we only have a handful of rooms left to explore before we're done here. Comes a little late. Oh, that's a big hand.
Oh no.
Did someone feed the floor masters all the steroids? Because this thing is massive. And it has multiple pieces too. It's not just one hand that's split into three. No, it's two big hands that split into three. Will say it's a nice touch for the specific sequence to have the mini-boss music from Majora's Mask, not the music from Ocarina of Time. I like this music more than the mini-boss theme in Ocarina.
Get out of here, you stupid hand.
Easy enough to fight when you stun him with Deku Nuts.
I hate those things. I hate those things.
At least they're not the ones that grab you off the floor and bring you back to the door. Wall masters are worse.
Still hate them.
So you're supposed to flip the switches here and use your time manipulation, and then you can just get past this wall. Or, you know, you can jump. I think option B is just easier.
Lester be cheating again.
Yeah.
I don't want to pause. That lags the game.
You're impatient. You're impatient. Well, was it worth it? Was it worth taking half part damage?
Oh, you tell me. There's no more wall now. And now we're back up here.
Oh my god.
Time manipulation's a little too OP, is it?
You can't win with him, Matthew.
No.
Even when I think he does something stupid, apparently it's intended.
How do you know about my friend?
I didn't tell them about Navi. I think they're all in on it.
All right. We had to go find the key so we can beat up Mr. Crocker. So that's why I'm just gonna call the fairy collector from now on.
It might as well be, yeah. If the demon itself transformed into a human, it would just be Crocker in human form. From Fairy Godparents. Or Fairy Odd... I always call it Fairy Godparents for whatever reason, because that's what they are. Even though that's not what the show is called. We're about the end of the dungeon. You can tell it's a boss room, because you can't use your bunny hood. And that's going to make this fight a little bit harder. That's it. This is the thing. The demon itself. The Fairy Collector. With the hardest name to pronounce. We're just gonna call you Crocker.
Arborachnid.
Okay, Mr. Crocker.
Well, it's a combination of, giant tree and a spider.
Yeah, that's what they're technically going for. So what you have to do is get in front of this guy, and then use your hourglass to warp back in time to hit its rear end. Because if you try to go back there manually to hit it, the spider's just gonna turn around. So, you gotta distract Mr. Crocker here, and then throw your hourglass to go behind him.
He's actually a smart boss. Okay.
Now after you do enough damage that triggers phase 2, he eats the fairies in his cage. And now that powers up the Beamos that are on him, because this is just Beamos lasers. This is where it's really helpful to have Milk, because it's kind of hard to fight this guy. He does a lot of damage. Stun him also with Deku Nuts to get rid of the Beamos lasers. Also, sometimes I swear, you just don't hurt him for whatever reason. It just feels like sometimes your attacks just fail to work. This is a custom enemy, and at this time, custom enemies were a very new concept.
But you beat him.
He's gone.
You beat Mr. Crocker.
Sent him to the Fairy Odd Parents jail.
So we found out what happened to Navi. She just got eaten.
Presumably. So if that's the case, then this is where our journey should end. Because after we fight Mr. Crocker in spider form, kicks us out here to this mysterious woods area, which may look familiar if you played Majora's Mask. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe our fairy friend did get eaten after all. That looks like Navi.
Come on, Epona. Let's ride.
Let's go, off into this mysterious land where surely nothing bad will happen at all.
Nah, we're fine.
And that is how we end our adventure here in Missing Link. Because at this point, now the story is set up to begin Majora's Mask, where Link's now in the forest chasing after what he thought was Navi.
This was kind of a cool ROM hack. I like it.
It's a very solid adventure, especially given how it has a lot of custom stuff for this time period. Because back in 2020, it wasn't really accustomed to see a lot of different, well, custom things in Zelda ROM hacks due to how much harder it was to make custom enemies or custom items and even maps for overall areas and dungeons. So Missing Link for doing what it did in 2020 was very impressive.
Yeah, because it's got its own custom enemies and everything else. Like, the boss was completely brand new.
The hourglass.
Yeah, I mean, I found that item specifically to be a really cool addition to this. And even after this ROM hack came out, I didn't see anything that was similar in other Ocarina ROM hacks for a couple years, actually. Because the only other game that comes to my head right away after I played this, that has a lot of other custom stuff too, was something released last year in 2024, The Ultimate Trial. It had a lot of custom items and custom fights. So in some ways, this kind of paved the road to what we got in the future. That's why it's so short. In some ways, it's more like a proof of concept of what we can make now in terms of Ocarina games and the ROM hacking scene. Because there was a lot of stuff here that obviously was more of its time, but it got much better once Decomp was done. Now you got a lot of cool stuff.
I liked it. I liked they tied the story in with both Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah, it's a really good storyline in general for what it is being as a tie-in game. And it does plant a lot of seeds here that could answer some of those what-if questions too. Even if they are fan theories, I do think just some of those theories alone do help with the story, just in general for this franchise. And that is it. We don't see Saria ever again. No more Ghost Saria. Also, what happened to the Soul Blade sword? Why can't I shoot laser beams in Majora's Mask? Come on, Nintendo. Make the Majora's Mask sequel we all know you want to make.
We're not taking a proof of concept from a ROM hack. DMCA.
Well, that's going to conclude our time here in Missing Link, so hopefully everyone enjoyed this playthrough. We definitely did. And with that said, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.